Hello again, everyone. This is Chris Scher, and that's Robert Harding. This is the Citizen Sports Weekly for January 21st, 2016.
Wow. January.
I know.
Football season.
Coming
to a close.
I know. We have two games this week, and then
the big one.
We're not going to pick the Pro Bowl, though. No, we're not going to do the Pro Bowl. No, but Robert and I were just saying that next week, when we don't have any games, we're going to do our special look at the Dolphins and Bills off season so far, because obviously the Bills just made a recent coaching hire, which is getting a lot of attention.
Yes, yeah.
And,
Catherine Smith.
Yep, former Syracuse area resident.
Yeah, went to CBA, I believe.
And Miami has a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, whole new coaching staff. So
we'll bring the bleep button that day.
No, nothing like that. But obviously we have two conference championship games coming up on Sunday. The first game is going to be New England at Denver. And this is Manning Brady Bowl 17, I believe. This is the 17th time they've played it. And you know the amazing thing is, they only played in the same division the first two seasons. That's it. 2000 and 2001. They realigned the NFL in 2002. So, and even with that, they literally have averaged at least one game a year for those last 17 years. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they stayed in the same division? Those
Twice a year?
Those two games would have been nuts for the past.
I know. They would have played at least 30 times.
Yeah, and then that's not counting any potential playoff matchups.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So we have Peyton Manning, who played okay last week.
Yeah.
He didn't light it up, but he played okay.
Yeah.
I think that the Broncos' victory had more to do with the Broncos' defense than the Broncos' offense. And obviously a banged-up Pittsburgh offense didn't help matters out much either.
Yeah.
The Patriots I wouldn't say they steamrolled through the Chiefs, but the Chiefs were never a threat in this game.
No, I think the score it made it seem closer than it looked. I mean, the Patriots played a good game.
Yeah.
They weren't great, but they were consistent throughout. I mean, defense played well. Brady certainly was up to his old tricks. So that first drive was really a big statement. From there, they were sailing right ahead.
So I'm going with New England. Surprise!
Wow.
Tom Brady. I don't care if it's a road game. He's used to playing in the winter. I know his record at Invesco Field or Sports Authority Stadium or Mile High Park 2 is not great, but this is a conference championship game, and Bill Belichick excels in conference championship games. I don't think he's lost too many, maybe a couple of that. So even though they're going on the road and there's going to be some winter weather, I just think Tom Brady's playing at the top of his game. I think Peyton Manning, again, I mean, he's healthy, but he's not the Peyton Manning of old. He's the old Peyton Manning. The only chance that the only chance the Broncos have of winning this game is their defense playing lights out, which, hey, could happen because the Patriots do have the Broncos have the top-rated defense in the NFL right now. So it could happen, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I just think New England, they're just a smarter football team, the more experienced football team. And I'll take Brady over Manning in this game, and I will take the Patriots over the Broncos.
It's interesting because I had the Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So do I go, even though my Super Bowl team's already out of it, do I go against that? Mm-hmm. You bet I am. I'm taking the Broncos at home. Here's why.
Okay.
I think Manning, he was good last week. The biggest issue with the Broncos, a lot of drops. I mean,
that's true.
Manning,
You're right.
Manning was making the throws.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. There were some wounded ducks, as Chris would say out there.
True.
But the receivers were dropping the passes, and a lot of them. I lost count. I mean, it was getting bad.
It was like at least 8.
Yeah.
I give you. You're absolutely right, and I forgot to mention that when I was looking at the game. But no, it's a good point.
Yeah. So you're right about the defense. The defense has to play well in this game, or else Brady's gonna just they're gonna roll right over them. But I think. For Denver, you're at home. You have that advantage over New England. You don't have to go to Foxborough. And you're doing this really for Peyton Manning at this stage. I think they have a lot to play for. This could be, his last season. It could be his last, try at a Super Bowl.
It's his last game as a Bronco. I mean, this is his last season as a Bronco, no doubt about that.
So, it really comes down to that. And, I think when people start thinking about that, get them motivated a little bit, and they'll want to win this game, especially against the defending Super Bowl champions. The Patriots always a threat, but I think a lot of things favor Denver in this game. That's why I'm taking them.
All right. No, I
X factor, the running game.
I can understand that completely, but I just think Bill Belichick always does something in these games that nobody's expecting.
Oh yeah,
You know,
no doubt.
and the Patriots are healthy too at their wide receiver spots. I think that's the reason why they slumped towards the end. So I just think that Tom Brady is at like he's not playing like your typical 38-year-old NFL quarterback. You know,
No, that's
I
true.
mean he's playing like he's 10 years younger. So the next game is Arizona at Carolina. And that is going to be a heck of a football game. Now, before we get started about this game, Robert and I watched the Arizona Green Bay game last week at Buffalo Wild Wings with some of our citizen co-workers, including Jeff Wiegand, our ad director,
Correct.
and Jonathan Monfletto, our Skaneatel's Journal editor, who the Packers fan and the Cardinals fan, and that was a lot of fun. It was just a great time, and I'm glad we were able to do that because it's always fun to watch football in a group setting with good food like chicken wings.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic game.
It was, and that's what I mean. It's like it was a great game, and the thing is now, can we do it again? Can we have another fantastic finish here with the Cardinals and the Panthers? You know, this is a game that I've been going back and forth on all week.
Interesting. The other game was the one I was going back and forth on.
And I picked Seattle last week to upset Carolina because I thought Seattle's experience. And I thought Carolina was a little overrated and just, you know, that their bubble was going to burst. Well, shows me what I know because Carolina just absolutely beat the living heck out of Seattle in the first half there, 31-0, and then just basically rode the coattails there in the second half and won. So, you know, Arizona's got a great defense. They have an excellent offense with Carson Palmer. But, boy, I'll tell you, man, Cam Newton is playing lights out. He is the MVP of the NFL this year. And again, the Panthers just really showed me something last week. And maybe I'm taking too much stock into last week's game when maybe I shouldn't. But I'm going with the Panthers this week. I'm looking for Carolina to beat Arizona and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we agree on this one. I've liked the Panthers all season. I think they really, not so much now, but they were really an underrated team. You know, when they were winning all these games, people were like, I think at the time the Patriots and Broncos were undefeated, and people are looking at the Panthers. Yeah, but who have they played?
Yeah.
And now you realize, they might have been in a weaker division, but they went into Seattle, won that game.
Mm-hmm.
They've beaten some pretty good teams along the way. They've beaten Seattle twice now, going into the NFC Championship game. So they've had some challenges. I mean, it hasn't been easy. That Giants game. Where they
and that's what scares me, because I was listening to Boomer Esiason today. He was on my friend Orlando Elzagari's sports talk show down in Miami on WQAM, and he was saying that what he's concerned about with Carolina is their secondary, because you look at that Giants game like you just mentioned, they were up 35-0 or 35 by 35 points, and they literally choked that lead because their secondary is horrible because the Giants had to throw against them. That is my only concern with Carolina, is that their pass defense is not as good as their run defense. And if they do get up, Arizona is going to be going lights out with Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, and watch out. So I think the home field means something too. I think the Carolina fans are going to be pretty psyched for this game. So I'm picking Carolina and New England for Super Bowl 50.
Yeah, I've got the Panthers and Broncos. Not what I thought.
Now,
in this season,
and I have to admit, both games are 3-point spreads. New England is a 3-point favorite at Denver. Carolina is a 3-point favorite against Arizona, and it's like I don't like picking the favorites all the time. I like to kind of pick the underdog sometimes because usually there is an upset. But hey, with only 2 games, it's kind of tough to do that. But I guess you could say New England is the upset pick because they are playing on the road. But again, Vegas thinks they're the favorite, so that's what it is. Real quickly, Robert was 4-0 last week. Perfect. I was 3-1. Again, the Seattle game cost me. I have a 4-game lead on Robert. We only have 3 games left, so technically I've kind of clinched everything. But this guy is good. I mean, this guy knows his NFL and he knows how to pick games. He's had a. You go 63-48, man. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, it's pretty darn good. So, all right. So we'll wrap it up there, folks. Again, enjoy the great games. Of course, we just found out the Syracuse men's basketball team, their game against Virginia got postponed. They're playing Sunday night at 7. So if you're a Syracuse basketball fan, you might be flipping back and forth between football and basketball. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing probably. So we'll see what happens.
You know what I have Sunday night? WWE Royal Rumble.
No comment.
What a conflict.
This isn't the Powerbomb podcast. This is the wrong video. We're not talking wrestling here, folks. All right. Hey, seriously, enjoy the games, and we'll see you next week. Take care.